we need to talk about these prices. This is the War Room Launch Party foil from Fallout. Currently on GameStop's website, they're selling it graded at a PSA 10 for $113.99 or $102.59 if you're one of the pros. But you can get this ungraded for just $4. That means if you buy it from GameStop, it's 28.5 times more expensive. That's a markup of 2,750%. What the fuck? The argument is that if you spend $15.99 per card to send cards in to be graded with PSA via GameStop or directly with PSA, it will create these multipliers for cards that you're selling, like, for example, the War Room Launch Party in foil. That means you found an infinite money glitch, right? Buy a card for $4, get it graded for $15.99, and bang! You can sell it for $100 and something on GameStop. Infinite money glitch, baby! In today's video, I want to talk about this absolutely bonkers MTG card price over GameStop and offer some thoughts on them getting into this market and card grading in general. But before we get any more further into it, are you looking to upgrade your office setup with some new lighting, camera interfaces, audio equipment from Elgato? Well, Black Friday's here, baby, and the deals will blow your mind even as much as GameStop's MTG pricing. I'll put a link in the description below. It's 20% off the Facecam Mark II, it's 30% off of Wave DX, or 19% off the Wave XLR. Various forms, I just poked myself in the eye. Oh, I'm so excited, I just poked myself in the eye. Various forms of the Stream Deck that I use to control my lights and my streams and similar have got up to 15% off. And there's more stuff starting tomorrow on actual Black Friday with bigger deals. Hit the link in the description below if you want to pick up some stuff. It's great if you're looking to make content, it's great if you want to do overhead commander, it's great if you want to light your desk for painting. The lighting panels are so versatile, they go up and down. Watch this. This is me being blasted with as much light as possible from the right hand side, and then if I just do this, live on camera, it gets darker, but I stared directly into the lights and now I'm dazed. There's a link in the description below to Elgato for you to pick up stuff on Black Friday. The Pokemon community, as well as others, have been quite excited about GameStop getting into the graded card marketplace, if you will. Everyone's favorite meme game retailer are desperately trying to hold on to relevancy by entering the trading card game single market. And now, whilst the prices of the MTG singles are pretty laughable, the other facets of this marketing push aren't so bad, or at least arguably. I'm not going to go into the weeds about the Pokemon grading because I just don't care enough. I am a Magic the Gathering channel, if you will. And I might sound a little bit dismissive of the Pokemon community's obsession with grading in this video because I kind of am. And for some further context, GameStop tried to get in on the NFT stuff with their marketplace launching, was it last year or earlier this year? It's now a ghost town with nothing actually for sale. And that means you can't get any new items for their weird gaming catalog you can see here, provided by some dodgy Silicon Valley startup looking to suck the venture capital out of pursuits that might further mankind and instead use it to make a quick buck off the NFT craze. It's only a matter of time until the AI marketplace opens up by GameStop, am I right? But this isn't NFTs, these are tiny cardboard rectangles arbitrarily given a value through supply and demand. It's completely different yet reminiscent in many strange ways. They will now take your cards and send them to PSA to be graded on your behalf. You have to pay per card. But this opens up PSA grading a little bit to being a slightly more user-friendly. For example, with PSA you need an annual membership and you need to send off a certain number of cards every year. I can't remember the exact number, it might be 20. Instead, GameStop, they do that for you. They pay them some sort of deal with PSA, of course, and they will send in your cards alongside other people's cards as part of their bulk send-offs. Of course, you're paying a premium of around $2 per card compared to paying directly with PSA, but you aren't paying $25 annually or whatever. It would work out cheap for you to do it on your own, but if you're sending off a handful of cards here and there, it kind of makes sense to do it through GameStop. It's one of those ease of access things. And they also buy them in and offer you trade, whether in-store credit or cash, similar to how it works with video games too. Now, would I trust my trading card game cards with, especially expensive ones, with people who work at GameStop? Not a slight on people who work at GameStop. I'm just saying they don't really give a shit. They're not really paid enough to give a shit. Hell, I used to work for GameStation. GameStation was like GameStop in the UK, but it was failing similarly to how GameStop did. Now I'm getting confused with the two. GameStop and GameStation sound very similar. And it failed and it floundered, and they got bought up by Game, the other game retailer in the UK, who closed them all down, and now is also failing and floundering. You can only find game stores now primarily inside Sports Direct. That's right, the place where you get the big mug or buy yourself some shorts. They now have a little game section where they sell the latest releases and maybe a box of Pokemon cards. It's all rather tragic and sad if you enjoyed high street retail for your favorite nerd stuff, but here we are. I just don't really trust a retail worker to have to deal with expensive cardboard, especially if they don't give a fuck about cards. Also, as a former GameStation employee who was pretty sure several members of the other staff were stealing but couldn't get caught, or no one cared enough to catch them, I don't know, I don't think it's a great look. Of course, for legal reasons, I'm talking about my experiences with GameStation here in the UK. GameStop don't exist in the UK anymore, I think. More on that in a moment. And then let's talk about card grading as a whole thing. It is huge in Pokemon. People are grading every fucking thing they can get their hands on. I'm pretty sure you can get graded Pokemon pack code cards. Yep, I mean, this is an error, but sure, it exists. And it's a bit of a emerging market. I might say a fad trend. A little while back, people were trying to sell VHSs for a premium if they were graded to being good quality. This shit happens in collectibles all the fucking time. Someone offers an authentication service, which then creates them a way to make money. And that then creates a fake market where people can pretend things are worth more than they are, and some collectors buy into it, and thus you make a quick buck selling old rope to people who are less in the know. I'm not saying all grading is nonsense. I think grading old or low supply things to say that you've got like a premium, high quality 10 of 10 version, mint condition version of a truly sought after thing is not a bad thing. But grading like rares from currently in print sets is bonkers to me. If you stumbled into this video because you collect Pokemon cards and you are finding this interesting that I'm so dismissive of the idea of grading your average shit, please tell me in the comment section below. I really want to know. I'm also not completely against grading, so I think I'm going to get these graded. This is my Mario Pikachus that I have had since they got released. I got them as a little present from my wife many moons ago. Anyway, I want to get these graded because I'm never going to play with them. They're just collector's items for me. And thus, grading makes more sense as well in other games where you have play pieces that sit outside of the game. For example, having your commander graded in Magic makes kind of sense because it's never getting shuffled in. At worst, it will be in your hand, right? I guess some people let them go to the graveyard, but that's not the point. Flesh and Blood, for example, you have equipment that are always in play. They never get shuffled into your library. You have a hero card that starts in play as well. And see, for Star Wars Unlimited with bases and commanders, cards that never, as far as I understand, they get shuffled into your library. Meanwhile, in Magic, people give a shit about playing. There's often stories of people cracking open graded dual lands to release them to be played with, whether that being Commander or Legacy or Vintage or any other like eternal format like Canadian Highlander or similar. Magic players just care more about playing than they do collecting, which makes it so distinctly different from Pokemon. But I also think it then lures in a different type of new enthusiast. During the pandemic, people were clamoring to make money off of card games. People wanted to make money wherever they could, right? They're bored, stuck at home, had some money to invest, and card games gave them both a nostalgia and a chance to make some money. And we're still seeing the ramifications of that now with, you know, the fake bullshit that Logan Paul pulled over the cards that he bought that he thought a base set and they weren't, turned out G.I. Joe fake cards or whatever. I did a whole fucking video on it. That proves that one of the authenticating houses that do the grading were actually full of shit and couldn't grade things or know things if they had to grade their way out of a paper bag. So I'm a little bit flippant about all of the grading shit anyway. How good are these houses? Who are they? Who decided that they're the ones to be able to authenticate or tell you what a 10 or a mint is? I had a weird situation last year where I was talking to a auction house about a promotion that I might work with them on for some high-end Magic stuff, and they put me in touch with one of the grading companies in America. I won't say which one. And they invited me out to see how the grading facilities worked. And I think I'd like to see. I'd find that interesting. I'd love to do a promoted or sponsored video with them showing off the grading house in a video so you at home can see it too, because some of you must be at least mildly interested in what the fuck goes on there. They told me that I had to pay for both my flights and accommodation to come out, and gave me a very small window to be in the factory. Basically, they thought they were better than allowing content creators from other games into their lovely Pokemon grading house. I don't know. It all smells a little bit iffy to me. With that opinion piece out of the way, let's talk about the infinite money glitch again. I did a short on Xiaojun from Gamestop that they're selling for $119.99 without the Pro membership. Now this price is actually pretty good. It's a bargain. When the 10 gem mint foil on eBay, it's £118. But that said, the one at Gamestop isn't actually foil, so who knows? Do you want a foil one or not? The problem is that before we grade it, the card is very cheap. You knew this was coming, right? Xiaojun in this treatment for non-foil market average is 6 cents. That's a multiplier of 1,999.83 times. Just because some kid at PSA looked at it closely and said, yeah, certainly looks alright, innit? That makes this a markup of 199.9983, not point, That's 199,983%. These are selling at GameStop. They have unlocked a true infinite money glitch. Let's look at another here. Skewer the Critics actually sees play in Magic. When Burn is being played, which it sometimes is still in Modern, you need many one-mana ways to do 3 damage, and Skewer the Critics is just that. When you do damage to them, it unlocks the 1-mana mode. Recently printed into the Showcase Breaking News frame in Thunder Junction, GameStop has it at $56.99. The market average for this card in this treatment prior to being graded, can you guess where this is going? 6 fucking cents. That's a 949 times multiplier, which means that's nearly 95,000% markup on the original price, simply for being graded. What the fuck is going on? My first thought was that someone with no idea about Magic was pulling prices out of their unwashed sphincter, but when discussing this market price and where it comes from my Discord, Avery, shout out to them, noticed this in their FAQs, that they're using Card Ladder. Now, Card Ladder on a cursory Google appears to be a real thing and relatively reputable, has a free trial you can sign up for, but fuck that. I'm not doing that, even in the interest of journalistic integrity. Look, if this video goes somewhere and we have a second one because it gets weirder perhaps, maybe I'll give it a go. But from a cursory Google and a glance, it looks like they don't really have much of a price history on Magic. With a little bit of digging, I did find the price for like a Mox Diamond and a Sliver Queen, and even some graded Mox Diamonds, but none of the cards that were actually showing up on GameStop, weirdly. And thus, I don't think they have enough information to pull from, so these are the kind of anomaly prices that's causing all these very ludicrous price tags on the GameStop website. This market price for Pokemon cards, as far as I can tell from a few, I've been watching a bit of Pokemon tubers and how they've reacted to this, they're saying that that market price is actually reasonable or actually relatively accurate, where for Magic it's fucking miles away. Mainly because no one grades Magic cards, and no one grades draft, chaff, or collector booster filler either. And for the record, Xiao Zhan's a very cool commander. I kind of slagged her off a little bit in this short, or dismissed her, should I say. Take my microphone. But in reality, anything with a text of Gear Up at 8th Grid on it is good in my book. I fucking love that. I'm actually going to put Xiao Zhan into my Iron Man deck. It makes a lot of food, a lot of clues. It's just Iron Man's one-stop Coca-Cola pop shop. It would also seem, if we look over the catalogue of cards available, that it's all from the same stuff, the same few sets. A little bit of Bloomburrow, a little bit of the breaking news stuff, a little bit of Fallout, and a little bit of Assassin's Creed. All recent things. If I had to guess, someone has sold all the actual valuable cards from these because they knew they can get the money for them, and then they've like traded in a handful of the absolute shite that they've then got graded and GameStop have given them the money for. It's just a really mysterious thing. Like, how did these particular cards, Xiao Zhan, the War Room, Skewer the Critics, the other crap that's on there, a couple of mythics from Bloomburrow, how did they become the stock that GameStop put on their website? Maybe just one person had a lot of the same crap, all traded in for an experiment, and got left with this. That brings me to the next point of like, how much would GameStop give me trade-in if I went in and spent $16 on grading a Skewer the Critics from the breaking news sheet? I planned to give this a go if the UK was doing this too. That's how I found out that GameStop no longer has any presence in the UK. They're completely gone. That was a very short-lived plan to make infinite money. Looks like Skewer the Critics will be sitting in my folders ready for the day that they will make me some money. I'm going to hold on to them. I am bullish for this. To the moon, hold the bag, Timmy's, whatever other shit Alpha Investment says. Nothing against you, Rudy. I just don't understand a word that's coming out of your fucking mouth. So to conclude, it looks like this is quite a significant venture from GameStop, or a lot of their stores are doing this, even having it take center stage as the first thing you can find on the bar at the top of their website explaining how to get things graded, or how you can trade in cards at GameStop or buy cards directly from them. And it's making money in the Pokemon scene. Some people are very positive about the idea that you can trade in lower value items for a reasonable percentage of their actual market value, and then GameStop will sell them at around market value or maybe slightly marked up. Though I have watched some videos where they'll give you absolutely borderline nothing for some very premium stuff like Moon Umbreon and shit. Either way, typical thing that you'd expect from them doing the card game thing. But there is a positive in the same way that trading games into your game or game station, or in this case GameStop, is a quick way to get some return on your games that you're no longer playing. It's a similar thing for PSA cards, I guess, except you're not really playing with them because you grade them. It's not like playing. It's to get rid of the cheaper stuff or to get a quick access to cash. There are some benefits to it. They're just not really that good for Magic players who don't tend to give a shit about this stuff. Either way, in spite of us not giving a shit about getting our cards graded, I did think it'd be an interesting little video. Take a look at what the fuck GameStop's doing. In some ways, I am proud of Magic not really giving into this collective fever dream of chasing a fad market that doesn't really exist. And then it manifested in some sort of scuffed auto pricing on some failing retail outlet's website. That, to me, is the fun takeaway. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. Hope you enjoyed the video. And don't forget, if you're looking to pick up some Elgato gear, use the link to the Black Friday sale in my description below. And I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.